All right, lean in close for this one. Today, we aren't just looking at standard datasets. We are opening up a classified, forbidden archive. It's a record of a completely speculative history, a forgotten timeline that is dominated by abyssal blues and deep, glowing volcanic oranges. It's a world where human survival took a terrifyingly different path. Welcome to this explainer on Project Alternate Timeline 0.
So I want you to imagine something for a second. What if the ultimate destiny of humanity wasn't to look up? What if it wasn't about building gleaming rockets to colonize the stars, but instead, we had to look down? Imagine having to drill deep enough through miles of solid rock and crushing ice just to tap into the very soul of our planet. It's a staggering thought, right? In this timeline, space was absolutely not the final frontier. The real frontier was right beneath their feet.
Series 1, the thermal convergence. So the stage for this era is a surface world that is completely locked in a relentless, raging ice age. Picture these mile-high glacial walls. The entire world is frozen solid in this punishing, gritty gray and abyssal blue. The surface is literally uninhabitable, which forces this massive, desperate shift in human civilization just to escape the freezing death above.
Now, the timeline of this descent is broken down into a few grim, distinct eras. First, the Ice Age begins. Then we drop into the Convergence era, which is this period of unimaginable, terrifying human labor deep underground. And finally, after 1,000 years of unified planetary-scale effort, it all culminates in year 1000 after Convergence. That's the year the global grid goes live. The brilliant minds behind this staggering feat are known in the records as the Askja lineage. And these weren't your everyday engineers. They were the absolute architects of a harsh new reality. They didn't build cities, They built artificial calderas. We're talking human-made structures with the sheer, terrifying dimensions of natural volcanic craters, meticulously constructed to harbor life safely within the frozen crust of the Earth. But here is where it gets truly wild. Their methods didn't rely on massive drills or giant explosives, no. The archive details something called resonance choirs. Just picture hundreds of thousands of individuals gathering in the dark, mysterious depths, bathed in this deep volcanic glow. They performed synchronized planetary hums at tectonic nodes, literally using acoustic resonance to manipulate the Earth's crust. I mean, it is just a haunting, awe-inspiring image of human synergy. And these massive choirs didn't just set up anywhere. They operated at the absolute most volatile, geologically active zones on the planet: the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the African Rift, the Pacific Ring of Fire. In Timeline 0, these aren't just points on a map, they are the literal anchor points of human survival. The resonance choirs position themselves precisely at these monumental fault lines to harness the immense, raw power of the Earth's shifting plates.
In our timeline, human empires are defined by their skylines. We always build upward, toward the sun. But in Timeline 0, they do not build upward. They hollow out the Earth. The spatial descent is absolute. Humanity became a fully subterranean species, carving a planetary empire out of the solid bedrock and leaving that frozen wasteland of the surface completely behind in the dark.
The ultimate goal of all this hollowing was completely unparalleled in ambition. The Askja lineage actually worked to connect the planet's internal lava veins. They fused these glowing, hyper-realistic rivers of magma into a single, massive, closed-loop energy highway. They literally re-engineered the circulatory system of the Earth itself, turning raw, subterranean volcanic power into the pulsing lifeblood of their entire civilization.
So their existence became defined by this extreme duality. Above them, a raging, deadly ice age, a world of unforgiving glacial cold and abyssal grays. But below, the new domain of humanity. It's a realm of perpetual, artificially maintained volcanic warmth and deep, fiery oranges. The Ice Age is still raging with terrifying fury up top, but underneath the crust, humanity is totally safe within the engineered heat of the global thermal grid.
The implications of surviving like this are pretty profound. The archival record stated with this chilling finality: civilization has completely detached itself from solar dependency. Think about that. For all of human history, the sun has been our god, our clock, our ultimate source of life. But here, that umbilical cord is completely severed. They don't need its light, they don't need its warmth.
This surface is basically dead to them, and the sky is entirely irrelevant.
Because they detached from the sun, their very identity fundamentally changed. They are no longer children of the sun. That whole era of human history is just over. Instead, they took on a new, monumental role. They became caretakers of the core. Humanity evolved into a symbiotic partner with the Earth's fiery center, living as mysterious silhouettes against the deep subterranean glow, just tending to the magma rivers that keep them alive.
And so, in the year 1000 after Convergence, we reach the climax of this incredible historical record. The global grid locks into place. The closed-loop energy highway of magma is fully operational, and Universe 01 stabilizes. The chaotic threat of the freezing surface is entirely neutralized by the warmth of the deep. The planet is officially engineered. It's become a perfectly designed thermal machine.
As we finally close this forbidden archive and step back from the fiery glow of alternate timeline 0, we are left with a pretty staggering realization. I hope you enjoyed this explainer as much as I did, but before you go, ask yourself, what does humanity actually become when we are no longer children of the sun? When our sky is made of solid rock, and our warmth comes from glowing magma miles beneath our feet? It changes absolutely everything about who we are. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.